Alright everyone, I have a little bit of a wonky schedule today, so probably just like 2 videos or something. There are a couple of things I needed to talk about. Link in the description, not archived of course. Scott Presler is pivoting, yes. After having successfully flipped the state of Pennsylvania, and let's admit it, Scott Presler was definitely one of the keys to flipping the state of Pennsylvania, keeping it from Kamala Harris. Him alone, he probably registered tens of thousands of voters in the state, and with his volunteers, it's probably hundreds of thousands, so it's an insane number of people. After having flipped Pennsylvania, though, he's got his eye on a different prize. That's the state of New Jersey. This would not have made sense a couple of election cycles ago. Like, for example, in this election, some people were claiming, including Trump himself, we're going to flip New Jersey red. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. You just don't have enough registered voters. But then I thought of something. Presler is actually, he probably will manage to flip the state of New Jersey. Because there are several components to New Jersey. People often look at states as monoliths. Like, they'll look at Texas and they'll say, okay, well, it's Texas. Well, yeah, but it's the size of France and there are multiple enclaves within it. With New Jersey, what you've got is the New York workforce that wants to save money on one side. Then you have the Pine Barrens down at the south end of the state. That's more like Redneckville. That's more like what I would be used to. I'd probably be in the Pine Barrens with the Jersey Devil. And then you have the side that's closer to, the Philly area, basically. It's basically an enclave of Pennsylvania. And I was thinking, if a person wants to work in New York, making a lot of money, potentially in the process, but doesn't want to pay New York taxes, and has decided to go over to New Jersey, I would think that they would actually be ripe for the Republican Party's message. I think that Scott Presler has chosen exactly the perfect state. And by the way, in the election results, New Jersey, which had been very, very blue for a very long time, actually was almost approaching swing state status. Now, it's almost a little bit like the Democrats trying to target Texas or Florida, states that have moved in the other direction. But the thing is that with New Jersey, it ain't moving in that direction. It's moving towards more red state status. I think that Presler can pull it off, honestly, by registering voters and, signing people up. And he's got 4 years to do it. He tends to be a workhorse. He's out there in the trenches like fucking 6 days a week at least, sometimes probably all 7, for hours and hours, literally just registering people. If anyone is going to be capable of the pipe dream, which is under any other circumstances what it would be, flipping the state of New Jersey, it'd be Scott Presler. I think that he's probably going to end up in some official role in the future, in the RNC or something like that, because he's a one-man goddamn army. How many people has he personally registered? It's at least in the tens of thousands. It's probably in the hundreds of thousands, cross-country. And it started off, if I remember correctly, with trash removal in Maryland. Maryland, however you pronounce it, it doesn't matter. And he went there and was literally cleaning up trash, and then started registering people, if I remember correctly. I think that was literally the origin story of Scott Presler. If anyone can do it, it'll be him. Don't underestimate him, trust me. Tall dudes with cool hair, we do it a little bit differently. Some of us make YouTube videos, some of us register people to vote. I think that New Jersey is flippable. I believe the margin is close enough that a few 100,000 people could make the difference. And if you have multiple years to do it, probably you can pull it off. Because the Democrats don't have that kind of outreach at the moment. Right now, they don't even have a goddamn leader. Who the hell is even leading the Democratic Party? Is it Joe? Well, that would be a real good idea. Is it Kamala? She's missing in action. She's basically disappeared after being completely humiliated, curb-stomped, and spanked like the brat that she proclaimed herself to be. Is it Chuck Schumer? Somehow that'd be worse than Joe Biden leading your party. The Democrats right now are rudderless. Effectively, the ship of state for the Democrats is swirling around in Scylla and Charybdis, and there is no captain aboard. They don't have a leader. The Republicans should take advantage of the next few years because the Democrats, they're not going to recover that quickly anyway. They're still going to be doing a party autopsy 2 years from now. Go out, get people registered to fucking vote, like Scott Presler is doing literally every single day. Knock on doors and prepare for the 28 election literally now. We're in a perpetual election cycle at this point. It's not like the old days. The election is a few months long, and that's when the volunteer activity and stuff like that picks up. It's not like that anymore. Not with the 5-second news cycle. Pressler, I think, has the right idea fundamentally. The RNC would be absolutely batshit insane to ignore him. They should give him a leadership role, although I believe he politely declined such a role for this particular election. He's more effective at the moment as an activist. He's young and he has energy and shit like that. He's doing his thing. The Republicans would be insane to not heed his advice, though. If Presler believes that New Jersey can be flipped, it can be flipped. And it'll be Scott Presler that flips it. I'm looking forward to a 2028 election where New Jersey might go red. Scott Presler is sitting there chuckling himself to death on Fox News or something like that, and the Republicans can't even believe the fact that they won the state. This is a plausible scenario, by the way. So I think he needs definitely more support. The RNC, what they should be doing is funding him. Now, you want it to be grassroots, but at the same time, the dude has travel expenses and shit like that. Throw him a goddamn bone. Give him some fucking money. He literally flipped the state of Pennsylvania for you. You wouldn't have won it without him. And now he's planning to turn New Jersey red. He might actually be successful at this, which is something that for years and years I swore would not happen. The Democrats, meanwhile, they still have this weird pipe dream that they're going to flip like Texas blue or something like that. How well did that work out? The demographics just aren't there. If Pressler can press the advantage, then yeah, I think that New Jersey could feasibly be turned into a red state. You could probably do it with New York too. That's a little bit harder. Zeldin aside, I think New York, because the population is so much larger, that one would be harder. With New Jersey, though, it's a relatively small state. Does have a high population density at least, but I think that you can probably find the votes to turn it red. If anyone can do it again, it'll be Scott Presler. And once again, the Republican Party will be sucking his cock. And they should. That's about all. Peace out.